Commander Trell of the Galactic Council observed the battle simulations with growing unease. The newcomers to the interstellar community, humans, had requested participation in the annual war games, a tradition among spacefaring species designed to showcase tactical prowess and foster mutual respect. "They're so small," remarked Subcommander Vex, his four eyes blinking in sequence. "How did such fragile creatures ever survive their evolutionary process?" Trell's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "Do not underestimate them. Reports suggest they possess unconventional approaches." The simulation chamber hummed with energy as representatives from 12 species prepared their battle strategies. The humans had sent just 3 officers, Major Wilson, Lieutenant Rodriguez, and Captain Lee, while other species deployed teams of 15 or more. When the exercise began, Trell watched intently as the human team accessed their control interfaces. Unlike the other participants who projected confidence and immediately deployed forces in traditional formations, the humans spent the first 10 minutes simply observing. "What are they doing?" Vex questioned, antennae twitching with impatience. "Learning," replied Trell. By the second hour, most species had committed to aggressive expansion strategies, claiming territory and resources across the simulated galaxy. The Dravek forces pushed forward with overwhelming numbers, while the crystalline Luminar deployed their signature spherical defense grids. The humans remained quiet, controlling only a small sector of space, seemingly inactive. "Perhaps they're intimidated," suggested Vex. Trell wasn't convinced. "Notice how they've positioned their observation posts. They're mapping conflict zones and resource flows." When the humans finally moved, it was with startling precision. Rather than confronting the superior Dravek forces directly, they targeted supply lines and communication relays. Within 30 minutes, 3 major powers found their expansions stalled by seemingly minor but critical failures in their logistics. "Fascinating," Trell murmured. "They've identified pressure points we didn't even recognize existed." By the 5th hour, the Luminar and Dravek had formed an alliance against the growing threat of the Morcellian swarm consciousness. Their combined fleets would normally have been unstoppable, yet somehow the humans had maneuvered their small force into a position where both powers depended on human-controlled jump points for coordination. "They shouldn't be winning," Vex insisted. "Their technology is centuries behind the Luminar. Their numbers are insignificant compared to the Dravek. Their biology is vulnerable to almost everything in space." Trell gestured toward the human team. Major Wilson was calmly drinking a bitter earth beverage called coffee, while Lieutenant Rodriguez adjusted minute details of their fleet positioning. Captain Lee appeared to be sketching something on an archaic paper notebook. "Look at them," Trell said. "They're completely at ease. This is familiar to them." What the observing council didn't know was that humans had evolved on a planet of relentless competition. While other species evolved toward cooperation or specialized into perfect environmental niches, humans had spent their entire history fighting against nature, beasts, and tragically, against themselves. The simulation entered its final phase. The Morcellian swarm launched a desperate offensive, sacrificing numerous drone ships to break through the human-controlled sectors. For a moment, it seemed the humans would be overwhelmed. Then Captain Lee implemented what they later called Protocol Thermopylae, a reference lost on the alien observers. Their fleet executed a controlled collapse, drawing the Morcellian forces into a perfect kill box where the swarm's numerical advantage became a liability. By the simulation's end, the humans had secured victory not through superior firepower or numbers, but through a bewildering series of feints, traps, and psychological manipulations that left the other species questioning their fundamental understanding of warfare. In the debriefing chamber, Trell approached Major Wilson. "Your tactics were unexpected. You controlled barely 5% of the available forces, yet achieved dominance." Wilson smiled politely. "With respect, Commander, warfare isn't about controlling the most territory or having the biggest fleet." "Then, what is it about?" asked Trell. "Chaos," Wilson replied. "Battle is chaos. Humans don't try to eliminate chaos. We embrace it, shape it, and ride it like a wave." While your species seek to impose perfect order on the battlefield, we accept that such order is impossible. Lieutenant Rodriguez added, each species fights according to their evolutionary history. The Dravek evolved as apex predators. They know only direct confrontation. The Luminar evolved in crystal caves. They think in terms of lattices and defensive grids. And humans? Trell inquired. Captain Lee spoke softly. We evolved as both predator and prey. We know when to hunt and when to hide. We can think like both the wolf and the deer. Trell's translator struggled to find the equivalent concepts in his language. This duality gives you advantage? More than that, Wilson explained. Humans master battle because we understand its fundamental nature. It isn't about strength or numbers or even technology. It's about adaptation. Every battle changes the conditions of the battlefield. The winner isn't the strongest. It's whoever adapts fastest. As Trell filed his report to the Galactic Council that evening, he included an unprecedented recommendation that human military advisors be invited to consult with Council Defense Forces. His final assessment contained just one sentence. Beware. The species that mastered warfare not through biological advantage, but by turning their own vulnerabilities into strengths. They understand something about survival that the rest of us have yet to learn.